Okay, so we are in our command room, and I think we just had that conversation with Yara and everyone, and she joined the crew. So obviously I want to see if I can talk to them. Nobody's here. Kane. Anything new?
Anything you need, Commander?
Looking for your personal input, please.
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
Is this an official evaluation, Commander? Or off the record?
Speak your mind.
Alenko, when it's just you and me, you can consider it off the record.
That's a generous attitude. Okay. I think there's something wrong with all this. This Saren is looking for records on some kind of galactic extinction, but we can't get backup from the Council? Sorry, Commander. There's writing on the wall.
Hey, Jeep Freak, how you doing? Long time no see. Good to see you. I mean, the long time no see is mostly on me because I haven't been streaming really over the last year and a half or so. So, mea culpa, but nice to see you. Hope you're doing well.
The Council doesn't want to believe anything's wrong.
Maybe the greatest game series. It's definitely up there.
I hear you. It just seems like a group that's been around as long as the Council should see this coming. Sorry if I got too informal.
You're good. That's good to hear. I've been doing all right. Mostly busy with work and stuff like that, and all of that. But also glad to be back now to streaming regularly. Have been keeping up with it for the last few weeks now since I started things back up. So happy to do that, and also always super happy to see some familiar names still. Glad that you're doing all right. Have you played the Legendary Edition?
Tell me about it.
Biotic acclimation and temperance didn't last past the airlock. To the kids they hauled in, it was brain camp. Sorry, hauled in is unkind. We were encouraged to commit to an evaluation of our abilities so an understanding of biotics could be compiled. There are worse results of accidental exposure to element 0 in the womb. Beats the brain tumors some kids grew up with.
So your dad was accidental?
Is there some question about how you were exposed?
My mother was downwind of a transport crash. It was before there were human biotics, a little after the discovery of the Martian ruins.
I have. I just filled up the first game onto Mass Effect 2. Nice. So you just kind of started with the Legendary Edition too. Yeah, I kind of have put off playing the Legendary Edition so far because I always kind of wanted to do another run. It has been such a long time, and I thought, what better way to really get things going again in the streaming sense to return to one of my favorites, and also with the Legendary Edition, an edition that I haven't played yet. Also, I feel like, and let me know if I'm correct here, but I feel like the game is a little bit quiet. I might check at least their voices are, but Mass Effect 1 was always a little bit of a mess when it came to like audio. Some of it is super loud and some of it is super quiet. Let's talk about Jump Zero.
Jump Zero is Gagarin Station, right? What's it like?
Yeah, that's the official name. Biggest and farthest facility we had for decades. Right on the termination shock, the outer edge of the solar system. It's where they did all the Goose Chase FTL research before we caught on to using Mass Effect fields. It was a sterile research platform when I was there.
There were other kids in the same boat, right? At least you weren't alone out there.
That's true. We did have a little circle that'd get together every night before lights out. We didn't have much to do, though. It was a research platform then, and Kinetics kept Jump Zero off the extranet to prevent leaks.
Well, time to talk then.
Then you must have had plenty of time to get to know each other.
Yeah, we'd sit around and bull every night after dinner, play cards or network games. There was this girl named Rana who had a little friend circle grow up around her. She was from Turkey. Her family was very rich. But she was smart and charming as hell. Beautiful. But not stuck up about it. I think you'd have liked her.
Did you love her?
Sounds like she was special to you.
She was. Maybe she felt the same. But things never felt together. Training, you know.
Got it. Yeah, tell me more about that whole intentional exposure thing.
You know of any intentional exposures for certain?
No one knows. Doesn't mean they didn't happen.
Must be like 5 years since I played Mass Effect
No one knew the potential, so there wasn't a lot
last
of
time.
regulation. Anything Kinetics did was gold. I'm not saying they intentionally detonated drives over our outposts, but in retrospect, they were damn quick on the scene.
Okay, sounds rough. Go on.
Jump Zero is a long way from home. What was it like?
The grand gateway to humanity looks a lot better in the vids. But that's my own baggage, Commander. No bearing on this.
You know, you can talk to me. Hey,
Alenko,
bro.
there's no regulation that says you can't be friends with your commander.
I appreciate that, Commander. I just don't want you to think that I'm a whiner. Besides, I've got my past squared away.
All right. Good talk here. Okay. I honestly don't really remember where everyone is at here, so...
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
I don't think there's...
I should go.
You
Goodbye,
had those
Commander.
conversations. There's Liara. Just recruited her.
Commander, are you coming to check up on me?
I was worried.
You look much better. How are you feeling?
Dr. Chakwas assures me I am going to be fine. I was impressed with her knowledge of Asari physiology.
Chucky is the best.
You're in good hands. Dr. Chakwas knows what she's doing.
I never properly thanked you for saving me from the Geth, Commander. If you hadn't shown up...
Don't mention it. All in a day's work.
I'm just glad we got there in time.
So am I. I know you took a chance bringing me aboard this ship. I have seen the way your crew looks at me. They do not trust me. But I am not like Benezia. I will do whatever I can to help you stop Saren. I promise.
I know. I
Don't
trust
worry,
you.
Liara. I trust you. I know you won't let me down.
It means a lot to hear you say that, Commander. Thank you.
Playing on PC or console? I'm playing on Xbox. Xbox Series S. I should talk about you.
Tell me about yourself, Liara.
Me? I am afraid I am not very interesting, Commander. I spend most of my time on remote digs.
Yeah, as my
unearthing
PC has
mundane
gotten
items
older
buried in long-forgotten
and
Prothean ruins.
my wallet not fuller, it's just easier to stream games from the console, since I can use the remote play and then capture that video rather than run the game and stream, which is just, I think at this point it would just put my whole setup on fire. So you must get quite lonely out there in space.
Sounds dangerous. And lonely.
Sometimes I would run afoul of indigenous life forms, or
But then again, I
stumble across a
also
small
have
band of
been
mercenaries or
always have been more of
privateers.
a console player
I was
than
always
a
careful.
PC player.
Until the Geth followed me to Artemis Tau. I never found myself in any situation my biotics could not handle. As for the solitude, well, that is one aspect that most appealed to me. Sometimes I just need to get away from other people.
What's that?
You don't like other people?
I suppose it comes from being a matriarch's daughter. People expected me to follow in Benezia's footsteps. They wanted me to become a leader of our people. Matriarchs guide their followers into the future. They seek the truth of what is yet to come. Maybe that's why I became so interested in the secrets of the past. It sounds so foolish when I say it out loud. It sounds like I became an archaeologist simply to spite Benezia.
It's not foolish at all.
All children rebel
Yeah.
against their parents.
Quite common.
It's a natural part of growing up.
Aha. You share the wisdom of the matriarch, Shepard. That is exactly what Benezia said when I told her of my decision. But there was more to it than that. I felt drawn to the past. The Protheans were these wondrous, mysterious figures. I wanted to know everything about them. That is why I find you so fascinating. You were marked by the beacon on Eden Prime. You were touched by working Prothean technology.
Fascinating?
Sounds like you want to dissect me in a lab somewhere.
What? No, I did not mean to insinuate. I never meant to offend you, Shepard. I only meant that you would be an interesting specimen for an in-depth study. No, that's even worse.
Relax. It's fine. Just a joke.
Calm down, Liara. I was only joking.
Joking? Oh, by the goddess, how could I be so dense? You must think I am a complete and utter fool. Now you know why I prefer to spend my time in the field with data disks and computers. I always seem to say something embarrassing around other people. Please, just pretend this conversation never happened.
Well, tell me a little bit more about Benezia then.
Do you know why Benezia joined up with Saren?
I don't understand it. She was always outspoken about the need for the Asari to become
I'm kind
more
of excited to
involved
get
in
to
shaping
Mass Effect 2.
galactic
I mean, as
events.
much as I love
Maybe
Mass
she thought
Effect
aligning
1,
herself with Saren would somehow be for the greater good
when I
in the
played
long
it for
run.
the first time,
least
I
I
played
hope so.
Mass Effect 1 on PC. Then, like, a couple of years had passed, and I played then 2 and 3 on, what was it, PlayStation 3, I think, right? So then I multiple times played 2 and 3, but Mass Effect 1 I only played the one time when I played it for the first time, and then another time then the 4 or 5 years back when I streamed the entire series again. So I only played this game twice before, compared to the others which I played. Oof, I don't even know.
This hurts you, doesn't it?
None of this makes any sense to me. I have not spoken to Benezia in many years, but I know her, and this was not like her. Something changed.
Okay, anything else you want to share about Asari culture? I agree, the second was favorite. I was too young to understand how to play Mass Effect 1 correct. Yeah, it was always a little bit janky, I think. And I think when I played it for the first time, I also didn't really have a frame of reference for the games. So it was like, oh yeah, like, this is a fun little sci-fi shooter. Like, I like what we're doing here. I enjoyed it a lot. But then the second one really kicked it into gear for me, and I think when I then returned to Mass Effect 1, when I streamed it for the first time, I definitely appreciated it more as a game on its own, because from memory, it was way jankier and more rudimentary than I thought. But like then I played it again and was like, oh no, like there's already everything there. Like most of it for Mass Effect 2, or what made Mass Effect 2 so great, it was just that obviously at that point you didn't have quite the connection to your crew, to the world, etc., because you're just getting to know it for the first time. So then returning to it, it definitely felt much more intricate and interesting than it even was the first time.
I'd like to know more about the Asari.
We were the first species to discover the Citadel. We were instrumental in forming the Council, and we always strive to be the voice of peaceful cooperation in galactic disputes. My people believe we are all part of a single galactic community. Each species contributes something to the greater whole. Although we seek to understand other species, it seems few of them seek to understand us. The galaxy is filled with rumors and misinformation about my people.
Rumors?
Like what?
Most of the inaccuracies are centered around our mating rituals. My species is monogendered. Male and female have no real meaning for us. We still require a partner to reproduce. This second parent, however, may be of any species and any gender.
How is that possible?
I don't understand. Your species can mate with anyone?
Mating is not quite the proper term, not as you understand it. Physical contact may or may not be involved, but it is not an essential element of the union. The true connection is mental. Our physiology allows us to meld with other beings. We can touch the very depths of their minds. We explore the genetic memory of their species. We share the most basic elements of their individual and racial identities. We then pass these traits onto our daughters. It is how we learn to grow as a species and how we develop a greater understanding of other races.
So what about the other parent?
What happens to your partner after the union?
Every relationship is different. Some unions are a single encounter with both parents parting ways afterwards. Others can be more long-term. Sometimes an Asari and her partner will stay together for many decades.
Do you know who your father was?
Do you know who Matriarch Benezia chose as her partner?
She rarely spoke of her partner. Though I know my father, if you want to use that term, was another Asari.
So you can do that too?
I thought you always needed another species to serve as one of the parents.
Think about it, Shepard. If we were not able to mate with our own species,
Yeah.
we would have died out long before we ever mastered spaceflight and left our home.
Think about it, dummy.
Union with our own kind is no longer common, not for the purposes of reproduction. Most Asari believe it weakens our species. Asari daughters inherit racial traits from the father species. If both parents are Asari, then nothing has been gained, or so conventional wisdom would hold. I am what is sometimes called a pureblood. Though no Asari would ever be cruel enough to say the word to my face, it is a great insult among my people. It is possible Benezia's partner was embarrassed by their union. She may have been too ashamed to publicly acknowledge me as her offspring.
You know that.
Maybe she wanted to meet you but couldn't. Something could have happened to her. Maybe she passed away.
You might be right. I hope you are. But I have no way to know for sure. Benezia never spoke of her partner. Whatever happened, it caused her too much pain to dwell on it. She raised me by herself, though that is not uncommon. Many Asari raise their children alone, particularly if the father species is short-lived. Often the partner will pass on long before the child reaches maturity.
How do they deal with that?
You Asari live for 1,000 years. What happens when your
Yeah.
partner dies?
Few sapient species live as long as my kind. We have learned to take a philosophical approach to our unions. We do not focus on the inevitable loss of our partners. Instead, we enjoy the time we spend with them. And even after they're gone, a part of them lives on in us. The union is a connection that transcends both time and space.
All right.
I should go.
I should go.
Goodbye,
After this very deeply personal conversation, we should go. Me. That sound. That log is already at 100, so very smooth exit. I mean, Shepard is known for his smoothness in all situations. Okay, let's see if the others have something to say.
So, we've got Saren on the run.
Yes, we do.
It won't be long now. Saren's good, but I'm better.
Good. He's rotten. To the core. I could tell as soon as I met him.
You knew Saren?
Why didn't you tell me this sooner?
I would have if I thought I was important.
I mean, fair enough.
I think I'd like to hear about it just the same.
This was a while ago. A bunch of mercs were bragging about a job out near the edges of the Terminus systems. They said it paid well and the boss was never around to ride them. They said he was looking for more men, too. So I checked it out.
So he recruited you?
I didn't know Saren was openly recruiting mercs.
It wasn't that open, and he only showed his face once. We'd been raiding ships in the area for months when we took out this massive cargo freighter. Our biggest haul yet. I was on board checking bodies for valuables, looking for some extra credits. That's when I saw him.
What did Saren want with the ship?
I don't know what he wanted. He was just moving through the ship, watching. Couple of the mercs called him by name, but he never spoke to them. Never spoke to anyone. I had a really bad feeling about him.
And rightfully so.
I got the hell out.
Love me some Rex.
Didn't wait to get paid.
Tell me about the cargo.
What kind of cargo was the freighter carrying? What was Saren after?
I don't know. All I saw on that ship was food and medical supplies. There were some basic weapons, but nothing big. If there was anything of value on that ship, I didn't see it. That's why I didn't mention it sooner.
What about the ship?
Whose ship was it?
There was a Volus trading vessel. Big one. Lots of guards. But they were no match for us.
Okay, that's it?
That's the only time you saw him?
Yeah. Didn't even know who he was. Still wouldn't if I hadn't joined up with you. But my instincts were right. Every other merc on that mission turned up dead within a week. Every damn one.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
So?
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors.
Fair enough.
We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
Tell me more about the Genophage.
What can you tell me about the Genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it.
But we only get a Solarian in Mass Effect 2,
All I
Rex.
know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected. Every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist?
Oh, fair enough.
You ask a Krogan, would he rather find a cure for the Genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
Well,
So long, Rex.
so long.
Shepard.
Thanks for talking about the death of your species. Have a nice day.
Commander, you have a minute to talk?
Sure.
I keep an open door policy. If you have any concerns, lay them on me.
All right. I know things are different aboard the Normandy, but I'm concerned about the aliens, Vakarian and Rex. With all due respect, Commander, should they have full access to the ship?
Because they're aliens?
You don't trust their motives because they're not human.
This is the most advanced ship in the Alliance Navy. I don't think we should give them free rein to poke around the vital systems. Engines, sensors, weapons.
You're out of line, you racist bitch.
That's enough, Chief. You always second-guess your superiors?
Sir! No, sir. I'm sorry, I was out of line. I'll get back to my duties, Commander.
Yeah. None of that.
Commander, how are you?
Can you tell me more about your relationship with CSAC?
Why did you want to be a CSEC officer in the first place?
That's a good question. There were several reasons, I guess.
Such as?
Like what?
Probably the same as most officers. I wanted to fight injustice, wanted to help people. I guess my father had something to do with it too. He was CSEC, one of the best. I grew up hearing about his accomplishments or seeing his picture on the vids after a big arrest. He's taking my resignation pretty hard.
I understand that.
That's tough. But you'd think he'd be impressed you're going after Saren.
My father's a CSEC man to the bone. Do things right or don't do them at all, he says. He thinks I'm being too rash, too impatient. He's worried I'll become just like Saren. He actually talked me out of becoming a Spectre when I was younger, for the same reasons.
Spectre.
You were asked to be a Spectre?
Well, I was targeted as a possible Spectre candidate, me and about 1,000 other Turian military recruits. I could have received special training, but my father didn't like it. He despises the Spectres.
He hates the idea of someone having unlimited power with no accountability. He wouldn't like you, Commander. No offense.
I see.
I suppose I can understand his concern.
You can, but Saren's not going to play by our rules, C-Sex rules. If you want to nail Saren, you need to send someone who isn't restricted by policies and procedures.
Well,
Just because you can break the rules doesn't mean you should.
exactly.
I don't need to stoop to Saren's level to stop him. And neither do you, Garrus.
I see what you mean, but I'll think about it. Thanks, Commander.
Some food for thought. Where is Tali? There you are.
Hello, Shepard.
You sound down. What's wrong?
Are you okay?
I don't know. Your ship is amazing, and your crew's been really great to me, especially your chief engineer. But I just sort of feel out of place.
What's up?
The Normandy runs so smooth it feels like we're not even moving, and the engines are so quiet. How do you sleep at night?
It's too quiet to sleep.
The silence wakes you up?
Back on the flotilla, the last thing you want to hear is silence. It means an engine's died or an air filter shut down.
I see.
I guess you don't have to worry about that here. But old habits die hard. But it's more than just the silence. This ship feels so empty. It's like half the crew is missing. Back home, I couldn't wait to go on my pilgrimage. I couldn't wait to get away from the crowds. Now that I'm out here, I kind of miss them.
You're homesick.
Sometimes we don't appreciate what we have until it's gone.
That's true. I'm starting to wonder if that's what the pilgrimage is really about. It's given me a whole new
Maybe,
perspective
huh?
on my people and our culture. You know, there's always a few who go on their pilgrimages and never return. I always assumed something bad happened to them. But maybe they just wanted a different life.
You are going back, right?
You do plan to return to the migrant fleet, right?
I could never abandon my people, Shepard. I will go back eventually. But we have to stop Saren first. Otherwise, I might not have a home to go back to.
Tell me more about the Quarians.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
Like what?
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to
I
their
see.
breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
Conclave?
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
So you are democratic.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials.
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
I see. Tell me more about the Geth.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins. What they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Well, tell me about it.
Interesting.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more
It's
varied and
ChatGPT with
complex
legs.
tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
So, isn't AI research illegal?
How come the Council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
Neural network?
So, the Geth share brain power?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in a group, the smarter they are.
Yeah, like a hive mind.
So there's some sort of group consciousness.
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input. Each Geth maintains.
All right, Jeep Freak, thank you for stopping by and hanging out. Nice to see you. I actually thought about you the other day because I had the World Series hat in the hand. So actually, nice coincidence that we run into each other today. So I hope you have a great day at your training. Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you soon again. I will be streaming more Yakuza tomorrow. Maybe Mass Effect on Friday. That's not quite sure yet. And then another stream on Sunday, probably Yakuza again. So why did they turn on you?
What made them rebel?
As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
So, what happened next?
What did you do?
It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
So they defended themselves.
Can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began. The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space, exile searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
Well, definitely sounds like they just defended themselves, Tali.
It's hard to feel sorry for you. Your ancestors tried to wipe out another species.
We made a mistake when we created the Geth in the first place, but we did not make a mistake when we went to war against them. If we had not acted, they would have wiped us out. They're a synthetic life form. They have no use for organics. None. Why do you think they cut themselves off from the rest of the galaxy? Why do you think they've killed every organic being who's ever tried to contact them?
Well, everyone.
They didn't kill Saren.
What does that tell you? The Geth are not innocent victims in all this. They're the enemy. They want to destroy us. Not just the Quarians. All organic life. That's why they've joined up with Saren. and that's why we have to stop him.
Can you tell me more about the pilgrimage?
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
Do they always accept?
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when a gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
Okay.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
I should go.
Like that I should go.
See you later.
Something I can do for you, Commander.
I think we talked to him
Carry
before.
on, Adams.
So I think
Aye, aye, Commander.
that should conclude our little round of conversations here. And then I guess we gotta see where we go next. Actually don't remember, so I'll have to... How do we... Oh, we can actually level up, so that's good. Let's do our Spectre training. And yeah, maybe the armor. No. Okay. Wait. Okay, Codex. No, that's not what the journal is what I wanted. So we have Novaria as an interest. Then the Geth attack. Pharos. Go to Pharos. Investigate Pharos to see why the colony was attacked by Geth. We have Novaria head to Novaria to investigate reports of Geth in the world. And then we have assignments, our side missions. Basically all over the team. Yeah, that was the one where we got one shot by something. We have turned insignias, 1 of 13, valuable minerals. Helena Blake, a high-ranking member of the criminal cartel, has asked you to eliminate 2 of her unpleasant companions. The base are located in the Han and Dis system. After eliminating them, meet Miss Blake in the Fortuna system for a reward. Missing survey team, Hades Gamma cluster. The fan, scan the keepers, we need to scan more of those. You discovered a strange transmission discussing some sort of biotic commune. On the whole, it seems harmless, but something about the message is a little disturbing. While on the Citadel, you uncovered an Alliance patrol report. One of the patrols mentioned some strange activity in the Hydra system of the Argus Rho cluster. We'll just see where we go, I guess. I mentioned on another stream I won't be too focused on all the little side thingies and exploring the different planets. I will do it every here and there, and if we stumble upon something, but I won't go out of my way too much to do that.
I prefer gold to silver, you know, for my medal. I figured you'd recommend me for one since I pulled your boots out of the fire.
You sure you want that?
If we present you with a medal, you'll end up sitting on stage listening to politicians make speeches for a couple of hours. Fun.
That's a good point. They'd probably make me shave, too. I spent the last 7 weeks working on this baby. No medals
Wow.
worth that. So, Commander, why don't you tell me why you're really here?
How'd you get your nickname?
Why does everyone call you Joker?
It's a lot shorter than saying Alliance Flight Lieutenant Jeff Moreau. Plus, I love to make little children laugh.
I was just thinking how much you remind me of Santa Claus.
Look, I didn't pick the name. One of the instructors in flight school used to bug me about never smiling. She started calling me Joker, and it stuck.
Were you unhappy?
Why didn't you ever smile?
Hey, I worked my ass off in flight school, Commander. The world's not gonna hand you anything if you go around grinning like an idiot. By the end of the year, I was the best pilot in the academy, even better than the instructors, and everybody knew it. They'd all got their asses kicked by the sickly kid with the creaky little legs. One guess who was smiling at graduation?
Tell me more about your disease.
I need to know more about this Vrolik syndrome if I'm putting my ship in your hands.
Yeah, of course you do. It's an extremely rare condition. Nobody knows exactly what causes it. Genetic, maybe. It's treatable, but there's no cure. They classify my case as moderate to severe. I was born with over a dozen fractures, hip, thighs, ankles. My bones were already breaking in the womb. 100 years ago, I wouldn't have survived past my first year. Lucky for me, modern medical science has turned me into a productive member of society.
So how do you do your job?
You're not gonna break a bone trying to fly the ship, are you?
I don't fly with my feet, Commander, so I'm fine as long as I'm in this chair. I gotta be real careful when I get up to take a piss, though. I can do my job as well as anyone on the ship. Better, actually. So don't worry about it.
Okay.
I have to go.
All right.
Just checking. Alright, let's go to the galaxy map and see where we go next. Okay. So we have Exodus, those asteroids. What's that about? Varian Pharos. Yeah, let's travel there. Not entirely sure what that is about.
Message coming in.
Okay.
Patching it through.
Commander Shepard, my name is Nasana Dantius. I have a job for you. I can't say any more in an unsecured communication. If you're interested in hearing my offer, meet me on the Citadel so we can talk in person. I'll be waiting in the Diplomat's Lounge on the Presidium.
Okay. Land. See what we can find here. Yeah, let's take out Liara and let's take Tali. Take out the ladies.
Status. Sensors reveal 3 fusion torches propelling asteroid X-57.
Okay.
At its current rate of acceleration, the asteroid will collide with Terra Nova in approximately 4 hours. Analysis. Torches must be disabled to cease the acceleration.
Hello. I heard your transmission. Can you hear me? They haven't found me yet, but I can't talk long. Shut down the fusion torches. I'm going to die. God, I hope you're hearing this.
This is a DLC thing? Feels like it, honestly. Okay, let's do some Mako action. Just wanted to check what's up. What's going on here? Body of G. Mandel. This victim was badly beaten before being killed with a pistol shot to the back of the head at close range. It's likely he surrendered only to be executed by his sadistic captors. The central transmission tower is on the fritz again. No one ever listens to my warnings about single points of failure. I'm surprised our surface comms work half as well as they do. When Slage shows up to relieve me, I'll go see if I can get the old girl back up and running. Me tool. I guess let's try to get to the big rocket turbine. Hey, Playful Madman, how you doing? How's your day? Thanks for stopping by.
Headed in the right direction. I don't know who you are, but I'm damn.
I also don't know who I am. Ugh. Oh boy. Oh boy. Getting shot at from every side. Come on. Got him. Okay. Could be just one more. I've been doing well. Glad that you're doing alright. Okay. Survived this encounter. Ugh. Oh, also, I probably have to... Yep, I have to level up Liara. Well, first, let's do the scientist. Then, get her the warp ability, the barrier ability. The lift ability. Singularity. For all the different things. And now let's boost up her throw further. Good old force push. Maybe the barrier. Tali, what else can we do? Could get you some dampening and some hacking. Then boost up your pistol damage a little bit. Oh, I probably also should check Liara's equipment. Yeah, she can definitely get that. I don't know what weapon she is using. Quite. Much better shields, less damage production. Ooh, that could be something. Actually, for Tali, boosting her Omni tool, hacker. Let's give her this weapon too. Righty. A quick save, honestly. I have a bad feeling about this. There we go. Uh-oh.
Batarians.
Check! Check!
That's not good. Flying dog.
Release the Baron!
No, don't release the Baron.
Eat this.
Oh, that didn't get him? The weapon is still overloading. Oh, the arrow's down apparently. How do I revive them again? Unity.
We're ready, Shepard.
Oh, that's good. That'll help. Go, go, go! Enemies everywhere. Shot at. He's just hiding. Got him. Got him. There's another one. Ooh.
Negative contact, Shepard.
Alrighty. Anything down here to loot? Okay, this leads up. Manual override. How did that work again? There you go. Oh, that reminds me. So, oh, let's both use the pistols here, please. I think you're both pistol people. How do I do first aid again? I always forget. Controls. Vibration? No, that's not what I'm looking for.
To me.
How do I do that again? Oh, there you go. Okay. Enable the torch.
I'm reading that the torch is offline.
Yes.
Was that you?
Yes.
I hear you. What's going on? Who are you?
My name's Kate Bowman. I'm an engineer. I was part of the team assigned to bring this asteroid to Terra Nova.
We were attacked yesterday by Batarian extremists. I've been hiding since they arrived. I think they know the torch went out.
What do they want?
Why are they doing this?
I don't know, but if this asteroid isn't slowed, millions of people on Terra Nova are going to die.
If I find out anything,
I've gotta go. Good luck.
Okay. Well, should better stop that. And now I closed the door right in front of me. Right. Oh. Who are you?
Hey.
Whoa!
Oh god. I didn't mean to. Are you hurt?
Don't worry about me.
Takes more than that one shot to bring me down.
Sorry. I didn't even realize you were human until... well... guess I'm not much of a soldier.
Just be more careful for crying
I know
out
you're
loud.
scared, but I'm here to help. Commander Shepard, with the Alliance.
Simon Atwell. I'm the chief engineer on this rock. Listen, we don't have much time. The Batarians fired up the fusion torches. You've got to shut them down before we hit Terra Nova. There are 4 million people down there, Shepard. My family, they live in Aronis. My kids and grandkids. Nice communities, good schools.
So how bad is this going to be?
I don't have time to do the math in my head. What happens if we don't stop this rock?
X-57 is 22 kilometers long, twice the size of the asteroid that wiped out the Earth's dinosaurs. It would be like millions of fusion bombs striking at once. Millions. The heat of the blast.
Sounds bad.
1,000 kilometers away, clothes will ignite. There'll be global wildfires. Air shock will flatten everything for hundreds of kilometers. Terra Nova will die, Shepard. Not just our colony. The planet. There'll be a climate shift, mass extinctions. The ecosystem won't recover for thousands of years. Millions, maybe.
And if it lands on the water?
Is there any chance it'll land in the oceans?
That would be even worse.
Okay.
Tsunamis would sweep inland at hundreds of kilometers per hour. Millions of tons of water would be vaporized at the point of impact. Global cloud coverage. The plants could all die, and if they go, the whole ecosystem rolls over. I'd have to run the numbers, but take my word for it. It'd be bad.
So why would they do this?
This doesn't make any sense. Batarians run criminal gangs. Unethical, but profitable. They don't destroy worlds. What does this gain them?
I've heard all the stories. Slave rings ranching people like animals. Pirate bands burning colonies to the ground. But this is... The Citadel Conventions forbid asteroid drops. I never thought the Batarians would go this far.
They're not like this.
Most Batarians aren't genocidal madmen, but these ones are terrorists.
Yeah, I know. It's just... This isn't how I expected the world to be when I rolled out of bed this morning.
What are the numbers on the enemies?
You were on the ground when this happened. How many Batarians have you seen? And where?
They landed at the main facility. It's locked down now. They've changed the passcodes. No idea what's going on inside. I did see groups head out to each of the torch stations. Couldn't say how many, though. Enough to give you a fight.
Do you know anything about their leader?
Any idea who's behind this? Who's leading them? That might provide a clue.
I heard a couple of them talking. They mentioned a Balak. It sounded like he's the one in charge.
Okay.
They didn't seem convinced this was a good idea, but they were scared of the guy. Scared enough to do what he wanted.
Oh.
Batarians everywhere, and I need to shut down all 3 torches. Anything else I should know?
One of the torches is surrounded by live blasting caps. We were set up to excavate when we arrived at Terra Nova. I rigged them with proximity detectors. That tank of yours will set them off, so you'll have to go in on foot. Even then, they'll explode if you get too close. Just go slow and easy.
Can you shut them off?
You set them up. Can you disable them?
Not from here.
Oh, damn it, Simon.
There are manual controls by the entrance to the torch facility inside the blast zone. You can disarm the caps there. One last thing. I had a crew working off-site when the attack hit. I'm worried about them. These Batarians are ruthless. I saw them smash the faceplates of guys working vacuum. And those Varen, I don't think they always wait for a corpse before feeding.
Where would your crew be?
Any idea where I can find them?
They were running checks on our perimeter equipment. Easiest thing would be to tap into the transmission tower out on the surface. The equipment stations will show up on your sensors.
I'll do what I can.
I'll look for them, but the torches have to be my priority.
Yeah, you're right. Saving Terra Nova is more important than my team. There were a bunch of engineers over at the main facility, but they're probably all dead. That or being held hostage by the Batarians.
One of them got away.
A woman named Kate Bowman contacted me. The Batarians haven't found her yet.
Katie's alive. She's one of my best engineers. She signed on with her brother, Aaron, I think his name is. He's part of the security detail. I hope they're okay.
Can we evacuate Terra Nova?
Give me a worst-case scenario. We can't stop the asteroid. Could the colony be evacuated?
Shepard, it took 30 years for the population to grow that large. I'm sure they're moving people to remote areas, but they'd never be able to get more than a few thousand off-world. We just don't have enough ships. No one does. Well, maybe the Quarians, but I don't see them suddenly showing up and offering us a ride.
So what about this asteroid?
Why were you moving this thing in the first place?
Well, the idea was to drag it into Terra Nova's orbit, mine it out, and in the end you'd have a basic structure for an orbital station. It's a lot cheaper than getting everything up into orbit from the planet's surface. The minerals we extract almost cover the costs.
Fair enough. Can you tell me more about Kate Bowman?
What can you tell me about Kate?
Smart as a whip and bold as they come. I hope she keeps hidden. If they find her... Oh, Katie. Don't do anything stupid.
I'll stay outside, Simon. Don't shoot me again.
If the Batarians come back and find you...
Yeah. I think I'll make myself scarce. Good luck, Shepard.
Alrighty. Let's return to the Mako. How do I open the map? Yeah. No, I don't want to return to the Normandy. I want the map. Okay, that's also not a map. Okay. Well, we have another level up. So let's do that first. Let's boost her warp, why not? And for Tali, the armor. Just so they don't die on me. There's a map. There we go. Transmission tower. That's where we came from. Area of the fusion torches and the main facility. So let's go to the transmission tower.